Hey now. Welcome to an all new Uneeda Horror podcast. It's a full house tonight. Last night I was on Ken's channel, Mid Level Media. Where did the name come from, Mid Level Media?
Because I don't know anything, so I'm right in the middle. It doesn't set up my viewers to expect too much, I
That's
guess.
always okay. That's actually pretty clever because I thought it was just like the entendre type thing with the double M's. See,
Yeah,
I'm not even smart enough to realize what you're saying
it,
because you're
it, it
not smart
basically
enough.
means like an average critic or film pundit, reviewer, whatever
Yeah.
you think I am.
Well, I like that. Really quick before we get going. So I went on Amazon and I bought like glasses that you get like when you're at restaurants, and I got
Yeah.
Pepsi ones. And I swear to God, everything just tastes better in these. I don't know. But Brandon, dude, this is your second time, technically third. I put our interview on Spotify and all that under Uneeda, but this is your second episode on the actual Uneeda Horror Podcast, man. How you
Yeah, I'm
doing?
good. Good yourself.
I'm good. I
Thanks
can't
for having me
complain.
back on.
I
Yeah,
apologize, guys. Every time we're getting ready to start, literally shit hits the fan in my house right as I send you guys the link, and I've got to get up and go fix this. I spilled juice all over me right as I was sending the links out. I had to go change my shirt. The dogs are going. Whenever my wife gets in the shower and I'm in here, the dogs literally just have a royal rumble in the living room. They knock shit over. They make a mess. It's always chaos. It's always just chaos. But you look festive as usual. It's very creepy behind you. There's some kind of like pumpkin man back there. You
I had
know,
to throw something together last minute, so
I like it. Very, very good. You know, and Nick, you're Batmaned out today. How are you doing?
Hey, it's chopped liver. I've got the Batman shirt and Spider-Man hat. Nothing really horror related on me right now. Well, I do have Steelers socks on, so to some people that is horrifying. But yeah, that's the get up right now. I'm all right. I'm all right. I'm glad to see these beautiful shining faces on here. If you guys are listening on the audio side, you guys can't see their faces, but they're pretty good to look at.
It's probably a good thing in my case.
Do any of you guys use Spotify?
I have it. I barely use it though.
I was gonna say, yesterday I tried doing something on for Freddy's Dead. I actually uploaded the episode with video. So, like, if you pull it up on Spotify, the podcast, you can actually watch the video. Like, you can close your phone and still it'll play audio, but it plays video too. I thought that was really cool.
I think pretty much the only thing I've listened to on Spotify was Joe Rogan, and when
Uh-huh.
I played his podcast, it had the video.
Yeah, and I thought that was maybe something exclusive for him, but no, I could do
Yeah.
it too. I thought I was like, why not? I figured I may as well give it a hell. Maybe some people, because you can, if you want to see the video, you can, but you can shut your phone off, boom, and it still plays. So I don't know, that's pretty cool. So, son of a bitch. All right. I don't think you guys have any idea what's about to happen, do you? No?
Not a clue. Man.
Oh, so that's why Christian didn't say anything when I asked in the green room, because he hadn't told you guys what we're doing.
I hadn't said anything.
Okay.
Christian just said, "Hey, do you want to be on the Uneeda Horror Podcast? What's the topic?"
Nick is a premature ejaculator. He always does this to me.
We
did it on the It show. He was already saying in the beginning of the chat who he picked. I'm like, God damn it, Nick. Just spoil the fucking show. Why don't you? He deleted his comment pretty quick. But I was like, bro, this is PR 101, Nicholas. What are you doing?
You know, I march to the beat of my own drum. So
that's one way to put it.
Sometimes I get ahead of myself. Whatever. Hey, Christian, I had a shit day. All right. So you're
here now. We're about to have fun.
That's what I'm saying. We gotta liven it up.
So what we were gonna do was talk about top 10 favorite movies of each year of the 2000s. And we could still do that, but I don't feel like doing that right now. I want to do something fun. Yesterday on Ken's channel, when we did the Stallone thing, he did this tier thing, and I just was like, I lost my mind. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. So I've got a tier set up that we're going to be involved in. But before we do that, I should probably tell you guys what the hell we're doing, right? Look at Brandon down there. Brandon's like, what the hell is going on? Brandon,
I'm lost, man.
We're talking today about the masks of the Halloween franchise.
Fucking finally.
Do you know anything about that? Have you seen the Halloween films, everybody seen the Halloween films in this
I've seen a couple of them.
I've only seen the third one.
Then
Christian
hey,
wanted to reach into that bag of tricks and
cheers,
talk
man.
about the king. He wanted to talk about the king. He said, "This will bring people in. Let's talk about Michael Myers." Well, here you are. Did it work?
Well, I guess we'll find out. But no, for real, I want to talk about the masks of this franchise. I've got this tier thing set up, and it's going to be mostly fun. I don't know if this is going to be a definitive kind of ranking. I hope you'll get a chuckle out of my tier rankings and the names that I made for them. But
All I'm
Ken,
saying is you're gonna lose your shit when I put Halloween 5 at all time.
hey,
Hey,
you know what?
don't talk shit about the Nick Cage.
So, Brandon, refresh my memory real quick. Obviously, anybody that's heard anything from this show knows this is Nick's favorite horror franchise. He loves Halloween. He loves everything about it.
False and misleading information.
Brandon, remind me of your love for Halloween. Would you just off the bat? Don't even talk about the mask. Your favorites. Give me your top 2 or 3 all-time ride or die Halloweens.
Halloween films. Oof. It's got to be 6. It's got to be 4, and it's got to be 2. Not necessarily in that order. So,
Okay,
yeah.
that's right. I remember we talked. Is 2 still number 1 for you at the time? Because when
2
we
is-
interviewed you, that was your number 1.
Halloween 2, 81 is still my number 1 favorite Halloween film for sure,
Okay,
by a long shot. So,
right on. And Ken, man, I see a lovely Halloween 6 poster back there, man. I'm assuming you're a big fan of that one.
It's not my favorite. Actually, look, I'm not a big poster guy. I'm really not. I would love to get more into posters. I see you always posting pictures of really cool posters.
It's addicting.
But I actually got that as a gift from my family because I know I've been a Halloween fan. I've been a Halloween fan since I was like 10.
Really?
My uncle gave me a VHS tape of Halloween 4 for Christmas one year. So that was my entry point into the franchise. And then I went back and watched the first 2. So I'm a huge Halloween fan. I would say that's my favorite horror franchise. But to be honest, these days I'm feeling less and less like a Halloween fan, to be honest.
Let's get into that. Why is that? And don't listen to me on this show. I don't take it. I will call you out on your bullshit. So don't lie to me.
Look, I just feel like maybe the franchise has kind of passed me by a little bit. It's just going into territory I'm not comfortable with. You remember last night when you said that Rocky should have ended
At
with,
Balboa.
At Balboa?
I did say that.
I think Halloween should have ended at 2.
Like Halloween,
honest.
like the first Halloween.
That's really hard for me to say because I love the 4th one. Well, we'll say the 4th one. I'll say it should have ended at the 4th one. And I even like part 5.
You don't even like part 5, or you?
I do like part 5. I had a hell of a time watching it last year.
So you think as soon as they start talking about what's going on behind the scenes of the character and things like that, it just demystifies everything, and you're just like, you know what?
loved the first 2 so much, and to be honest, it's really hard between those. I actually watch them as one movie. Like when I watch part 1, I have to watch part 2 after. And I usually do that on Halloween. So I would say I probably have more fun watching part 2, so that might be my favorite. But it's hard for me to put that above the first one.
Hey, you know who's made a really cool cut of putting those 2 movies together? That man right below you, Brandon.
Oh yeah.
He's got. Tell him about that, Brandon.
Do you have a 4K copy? Can you send it to me? I will
I
review
do.
it for you.
It's the biggest version we have is a 55 gig download, but I need to get my Mega account back up and running so I can get the files back out to everybody. But it's a really cool cut. It's a really cool cut.
But I love part 4. So I would say 1, 2, and 4. 3 took a long time for me to get into.
What the hell's the matter with you?
As a kid, I bought because I watched 4 first, and I was like, okay, I got to go check out the originals. So I remember at Walmart there was that 3-pack VHS set, and I begged my parents to get it for me. So when I went home, I watched the first 2, and then when we got to 3, Michael's not in it, and I'm like, what is this? So I didn't revisit that movie until I think 3 or 4 years ago.
Okay.
And then it grew on me. I really liked it when I revisited it. So I am a fan now. I'm a fan of that one.
So let me ask you this.
But I grew up with all of them. I loved H2O when I was a kid. I would rewatch that one all the time. Curse, I thought was scary as hell. Resurrection, I have fond memories of that because I got my license that summer, and it was the first Halloween film that I actually drove to the theater. to watch. So
God bless your soul.
I enjoy that one just because it's nostalgic for me. And then
Yeah.
I'm not going to talk about Rob Zombie. I'm not going there. I'm not going there.
That's fine. Let me ask you this though, Ken. So you like Halloween Resurrection on a surface level? It is what it is.
I have fun with it. I have fun with it. And when I go back and watch H2O, because I used to love that, I just see a Halloween movie that's trying to pose as a Scream film, and I don't know. That just doesn't. That kind of rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. I can enjoy it. But
Brandon, do you like Halloween H2O?
I can enjoy it. There's no atmosphere in that movie at all. But I thought Laurie Strode, her arc was better in H2O than it is in 2018 and beyond.
Best Jamie Lee performance.
My dog's arc to the vet the other day was better than her arc in Halloween 2018.
Well, that's my whole problem with those movies. And
let me hear it. Let me hear it. This has no bearing on this ranking we're about to do. So I want to hear
it is more
every
realistic.
problem you have.
It is more realistic. Her arc in H2O. Her PTSD is more realistic in that one.
Nick is just jump in, Nick.
2018, she's Sarah Connor. 40 years later, why would she have all that built up PTSD for
I
three
agree
of
with
her friends, two of which she didn't even see die?
Yeah, right. I agree with Ken. I think that the best Laurie Strode performance in the entire series is H2O. It just happens to be, I think, arguably the weakest film with Laurie Strode in it. I really do think that. But I can still enjoy it. But did you guys hear they gave the first look at Halloween Ends tonight at CinemaCon, and somebody detailed it on Twitter, and it says that the footage that was shown, Jamie Lee came up to the stage and said, "This Halloween, you're going to see Laurie's final stand against Michael Myers, and I promise you, it will fuck you up." And then they rolled a little sizzle reel of a scene of them in a kitchen fighting. Michael throws her against a table. She grabs a knife, stabs him through the hand, and then she's got him pinned down with a knife going at him, and then it ended. And the reception from the theater hall there was overwhelmingly positive what they saw. And I said on my channel last week during a live stream when we were talking about what they might show at CinemaCon, I said to Justin, if they're going to show footage of Ends, the way to get people into it is show a snippet of that showdown of Laurie and Michael. And that's what they went with. And it sounds cool. I liked what I heard, and the reception seems positive. So
you guys look thrilled.
You know what I wanted to happen in Halloween Kills? I wanted him to kill the entire town, and then it's just him and Jamie, Laurie Strode showdown in Haddonfield with dead bodies all around them.
Kristen, you can kid, but Halloween's backing up the Brinks truck still. So until it's not making money, I don't know if it's gonna go anywhere, my friend.
No, I'm as you're describing this, I'm looking at Brandon and Ken, and they look like you're giving them bad news about their tax returns.
Oh yeah,
right
well, look, I despised 2018, right? But I loved Kills. I've told you guys this before.
Yeah.
My thing about Ends is they're trying to build up this huge final fight, and like we already saw her decapitate Myers in H2O 20 plus years ago. And I get that they try to retroactively nix that canon from the story or whatever with Resurrection, but like we saw him get his head chopped off. You can't get more final than that. So I can't get excited about this.
But I will say, Brandon, and this is what I've said to anybody that has been kind of trepidatious about this, the fact that it is Laurie's, this is it. I mean, this is it for Jamie Lee. And people go, well, you never know. She's in her 60s. If they were to want to come back 20 years from now, if she were still alive, she'd be far too old to do this shit. So this is it. I mean, this is going to be the last time you're going to see Laurie Strode versus Michael Myers. And although there's a lot of burnout with that character, it's where it all began too. So it's kind of cool for me, and it's bittersweet. I mean, I'm one that wants to move on from the Laurie Strode character. I love her and I love Jamie Lee, but I'm ready to move on. But knowing this is it, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, what kind of crazy shit can you throw at me in the last time? So
I hope he pushes her into a fucking meat grinder and walks off into the sun. I hope this ends.
she keeps saying it's going to piss people off, so we'll see.
What did you say her quote was? Halloween Ends is going to fuck people up?
No.
Fuck
she
you
said,
up?
Yes, she said, this Halloween you will see Laurie's final stand. I promise you it will fuck you up.
Who's
Now-
better
now-
at selling their franchise sequels, Arnold or Jamie Lee Curtis?
Arnold.
Oh,
You see, hearing Jamie Lee Curtis say that, I keep looking at Brandon. As soon as you say Jamie Lee Curtis saying it's going to fuck you up, Brandon's computing how like she could literally mean that in the most negative sense. Or
It's-
possibly, it's like you don't know what the fuck to take it when she says it.
Well, apparently this one was really hard for her to film physically and emotionally, if reports are to be true. Apparently, this was the most taxing performance she gave as Laurie Strode, she says, in all of the movies that she did. So I'm assuming there's probably quite a bit of physicality to the role this time. And I also would assume that has to do with whatever ending they have planned. I'm sure it's going to try to tug at some heartstrings, and it's either she's dying or he's dying. But there's going to be some finality to this, and I think that I don't know, man. The stakes are high. I liked Kills. It was a nice palate cleanser after 18. 18 was, oh my god, it was the trendy hot new toy when it came out, and most hardcore Halloween fans were like, I mean, it's okay, but goddamn, like we're talking about this like this is like the holy grail, and this is like it's middle of the road. And then Kills came out, and it seemed like a lot of the hardcore fans were like, oh, fuck yeah. And the mainstream media was like, oh, this is trash. And it's like, that's what I wanted. So, I don't know what to think, but they're in my good graces now after Kills. So I'm along for it.
All right, so before we get started, last thing I want to press on with Ken, because I know that Brandon likes
Press it.
Rob's Halloween movies. Tell me what it is about Rob's movies that.
Dude, I won't be able to stop.
No, please listen. This is a place. This is a place where I want you to level it out. Just get it the fuck out.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be straight with you right here now. I am kind of tired of hating that movie. I've kind of gotten to a place where I just want to be okay with it and just know that it exists.
Which one?
And maybe watch it again. The first one. I actually do like the second one.
Okay, good. That's fine.
I actually do like the second one.
Tell me why you don't like the first one. Let's take.
I can't deal with the fucking origin story. I can't deal with it. Every time I watch it, it pisses me off. That kid's face. I forget his name, but
Big fair.
He's ugly.
Look, like I am
don't
a
you just
massive.
Want to punch him in the face? He's got a weird look. Don't you just want to knock his stupid ass
He's
out?
in,
I mean, Brandon, you feel
I
me?
don't-
You want to knock his dumb
He
ass?
I don't know if you all watch Euphoria, but he showed up in an episode of that because me and my wife were watching that
You turned
the
it
other
off?
day. No, I can see him now, but he's killing hamsters. His mom's a stripper. It's just come on. That's not. I don't need that. That's not what Michael Myers is. He is the shape. I get he was trying to do something different with it, but I don't need all that backstory. I don't need him killing somebody before
Is
he
it you don't-
actually kills his sister because that's the whole point
Devil's advocate.
of the character.
Devil's advocate, because I really like to pick people's brains on this. Is it that you don't need it, or you just didn't like what was presented to you?
Both.
Is there a scenario that you would appreciate a backstory? Possibly. Is there a scenario for that?
Not for this particular character, no.
Brandon's saying,
So
yeah. Brandon,
that-
what about? Let Nick go.
I was just going to ask Ken. Hold on. I was just going to ask you, Ken. Do you think that origin story colored your opinion of the movie entirely? Like, because
Yes.
I like you do not care for the first half of that.
When
movie.
I get to the last half of the movie, it doesn't
pretty
matter how
competent
good it
remake,
is.
right?
It doesn't matter
Like-
how good it is. I can recognize it's a competent remake and it's fine.
Yeah.
I am so pissed off by that point.
Okay.
I honestly just want to, when I watch the movie, just fast forward to that part, but I can't.
Yes.
I have to put myself through that torture every
Yeah.
time.
And that's what I
some
was
reason.
just asking, is because I've heard I've talked to a lot of people about this, and it seems like a lot of people, it kind of gets muddy that we don't really talk about the second half because so many people were turned off by the first half. But I think once you get to the second half, it's a pretty brisk, easy watch. It's intense. It's pretty nonstop. It's cool. It's whatever. It's like John Carpenter's Halloween light version. But yeah, that first half, I totally get you. It sours you on the movie.
But then you got, Laurie Strode Scout Taylor Compton fingering a donuts, and like the very first scene you see her, and it's like,
Yeah, she
I
kinda
love
cute,
Scout.
though.
I love
Come
Scout.
Hey, I just bought this movie she did called The Long Night.
Yeah,
is
And I
that any
liked
good?
it. I liked it.
Is it good?
Yeah, she's beautiful.
I thought about getting that.
It's this movie about she's looking for her parents, so she travels to this home where this guy is like a private investigator that's helping her locate. She's like an orphan, and she shows up at this house deep in the woods. Has anybody seen The Void? Movie called The Void here?
I've seen half of it.
Yeah, I've seen a
Same
little
same
bit.
here. I saw half of it on Netflix. It just
What?
wasn't clicking with me, and I didn't
Y'all are
finish it.
I wanted to finish it because I love that, like, what is it called? A celestial horror?
I think it's one of the best horror movies of this century.
It's like
It's-
some H.P. Lovecraft type
yeah,
stuff, right?
it feels like that. It's kind of like it has that kind of style where all of a sudden, like outside of the house, you start seeing these cult members right outside the surrounding the house and stuff. And The Void, I think The Void's fucking amazing.
Well,
but
Scout just landed a role alongside Luke Wilson and another pretty big name actor. I can't remember, in a new movie. She just got cast in. So I was actually surprised to see that. I was like, wow, I thought I only knew about her because of my little Halloween bubble. But, you know, working with, I don't know, pretty reputable actors at this point in her career, I mean, I'm happy for her. That's cool. I'd like to see her get into some more mainstream movies. People really get to notice her because I always liked her in those two movies, and plus she's really nice to look at. So, you know,
I thought it was cool, just going back to Rob's, that they brought Danielle Harris into it. I did like that.
yeah,
I was a huge fan of her character in 4 and 5.
I can't remember whose review it was. It was one of the big reviewers when that movie came out, like just lambasted Rob Zombie for that. It was like, yeah, and of course Rob Zombie brought Danielle Harris back just to show her topless because he has no decency. And I'm like, what? Danielle probably wanted to do that. Do you know anything about Danielle Harris? Christians listen to the podcast. It's pretty racy.
I was gonna say, if
Yeah.
you could listen to the podcast, she talks about every sexual deed she's ever done with every single person on planet Earth.
Yeah.
So I mean, the irony of that.
You know, the first time I saw Danielle Harris, it was on an episode of Roseanne.
Yeah,
You remember her on the show?
Yeah.
she was
David's-
driving Becky to the concert, and she wanted to hook up with guys instead of driving. Not Becky, Darlene, and see, she wouldn't drive Darlene back home. So
she was
Darlene
trying to
had
hook
get
up with
cab.
Darlene's boyfriend, David.
Right.
Yeah.
And then Roseanne made her go work at the diner to pay off the gas. She was like, "You owe me
Never
$40
changed.
in gas."
Yeah.
Never
That's one of
changed.
my favorite
Danielle.
shows growing up.
She did a movie. She talked about it on her podcast, and I've been trying to find it. She did a movie, like a Lifetime movie about Roseanne's life, but it was done like in a really negative light, but she didn't realize that. And she said like that pretty much ruined her friendship with Roseanne back in the day. But I want to see that movie. I heard it was actually pretty cool. But I was gonna say something else, but I forgot.
You were gonna say, and we're starting off with these rankings.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, we get started if y'all are ready.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
ready.
but Danielle, like we talked about yesterday, I was so shocked to see her in Daylight. Like I didn't like she was in a lot of
great.
movies.
Yeah,
You know,
she's
she
great
showed
in
up a lot.
Daylight. Yeah. Yeah, like Daylight. I remember we were talking about that yesterday. Vigo, Danielle's in there, and his son
the
Sage is in
cast.
that, which is cool. Sage passed away. I remember when Sage passed away, like it's probably close to 10 years ago now.
Yeah.
I don't know if he had some kind of drug problem or what, but yeah, he died at like 36 or something. It's really sad. Anyway, Brandon, are you ready to rate and or rank some Halloween masks?
I am ready.
All right, let me get my
Christian, you said you've got a tier system set up. Are you going to pull this tier system up, and we're going to individually say where we'd put each mask?
Do I need paper?
No, you don't need paper.
Well, fuck, I did my homework.
Let me pull it up. So, like I said, Ken really made me fall in love with this thing. So,
Have you never seen the tier stuff?
no, not before. So, we have all the masks from the Halloween franchise listed below, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tiers. Brandon, you want me to read you off the tiers from best to worst, the way I have
Read them
listed?
off. Read them off for
All right,
posterity.
so the top tier is legendary status. The next tier, number 2, is effing awesome. The third tier, which should be interesting, Brandon, it's good. People just bitch too much.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of masks in that section.
How about this one, Brandon? The second to last tier is really don't see the big deal. It's not that bad. and then the bottom tier is trash. So, Ken, I don't know. You're a tier expert, Ken. The way I thought we could
I've
do
only
this,
done like 3, but
well, that's 3 more than me. The way I think we could do this
last
is
night was a third.
we'll go through the franchise one by one. Everybody gives their take on the mask and where they think they would put it. If there is a genuine consensus, meaning the majority of us pick a certain tier, we'll go there. Let's say we're split between 2 and it's like 2 and 2. I'll just make a judgment call. I'll flip a coin or something. But I have a feeling we'll probably all be somewhat in concurrency with each other. And then once we're done, what we did on Ken's show was we took everything that we ranked with each tier and we can go through and rank them from best to worst that way. And when we're done, we'll have a definitive ranking tier in a sense. So a little confusing kind of, but I have it worked out in my head. So is everybody ready to start the Halloween / Michael Myers? Because obviously it's not just Michael Myers mess because of Halloween 3, but is everybody ready to start the Halloween Michael Myers ranking tier game show?
I'm ready.
Do it.
All right. So we're gonna start with, I'm just gonna do what Ken does. Sit it right in the middle with the 1978 Michael Myers mask donned by Nick Castle. Anybody can start. Just shout it out loud. Where would you put the 1978 mask? Legendary, effing awesome. It's good. People bitch too much. Don't really see the big deal. It's not that bad. Or would you put it in trash?
Legendary.
Straight trash.
So, Casey, you got one.
No, it's legendary. Obviously, it's the first. Can't beat it.
And Brandon, you already said legendary too, right?
Absolutely.
Nick?
Yeah, legendary.
Okay, so the original 78 is obviously going to go in the legendary tier. So that's where we're starting. I'm hoping there will be some controversy and we don't all agree on this. So, okay, before we get started, my Halloween experts in this show, from what I know and understand, there is not a different mask that Nick Castle wore. He had the same, one of the same ones used from the first one that he got from Deborah, and he just has a fat head. So he reshaped that mask completely, and that's why it looks. Is that why they were able to put out different masks?
Yes
Nick
and
Castle-
no.
Trick or Treat
Castle
Studios.
has
And
a tall
stuff.
head. Nick Castle has a tall head. Dick Warlock had the fat head.
But it's the same mask.
It is that, but it's also Deborah Hill had said that she had it in a box under a bed for like 2 years. And if anybody, especially back then, but even now, latex will warp. And she basically had it stuffed in a box and she smoked in her house. So it had a yellower tinge to it. And it was a little warped on one side from where it was smushed in a box for 2 years. So part of it is Dick Warlock's head is shaped wider and shorter, but also they didn't take care of the mask. So it kind of looked a little grungier.
There's a photo somewhere online of one of the stunt masks from 78, because there's more than one that they had spray painted white and stuff. And I think the one in Halloween 2, if the photo is correct, it had like the pinhole comparison photo and stuff. I think Dick Warlock wore a stunt mask from Halloween 78, not the hero mask. I think that's where the argument came in with Deborah Hill and Dick Warlock and all that stuff.
Pause. Time out. What is the difference between a stunt mask and what is the term hero mask always threw me off because I never understood the terminology. Can you explain that to me?
It's just the mask you're going to use in most of the scenes, the mask you don't want to get damaged. It's the mask that you're going to see the most. The hero
money
mask.
shot mask.
Right. The stunt masks are what you want to use during stunts or where the mask could get damaged, falling downstairs, being thrown out of a window, shot at, whatever.
Okay. So that makes sense. Hero mask. The terminology was always confusing to me a little bit. So I guess we're gonna go to Halloween 2, and I want to take the lead on this one. I like the shaping of Dick's face better than Nick's face. I think Dick looks way more evil, and to me, Nick Castle, it was almost like there was no head under the guy because his face was thinner than the width of the actual mask. So that's kind of like I have like kind of a Nick Castle face. My head shape is longer and not as more wide. So I feel like I would probably look more like a Nick Castle if I was wearing the mask. But I always thought Dick looked like the fucking devil when he had that thing on. To me, it's legendary, and that's where I would go.
Legendary.
Okay, we got 2 for legendary.
I would say the same. Like one of my favorite just images of the entire franchise is when she shoots out both of his eyes and you see the blood trickling down.
Blood tears.
So I would say legendary too.
Well, Nick, it's 3, but where you going?
Yeah. It's good.
All right, legendary it is.
But do people bitch too much about it?
No, they
See
don't.
that?
They don't. That's why I only said it's good. I didn't.
Yeah. All right. So the Halloween 3 mask. Now I figured we could just, rank these as one. There's no real purpose in doing them separately. Because I personally think they're all equally awesome to begin with. Maybe I made that assumption a little premature, but what the hell, right? I mean, now, Ken, you told me you have since become a big fan of Halloween 3, but it took a little while.
It took a while for me to return to it. I never wanted to return to it.
And Brandon, obviously, I know you're a big fan. You've made fan films about Halloween 3, which I've seen. I like that one. Tell me about Halloween 3. Was that one you always dug, or were you just the same way? You know what? Maybe later I'll go back to that one.
I watched it a lot in the 90s on VHS, but I don't remember loving it at the time. I just thought it was really weird. But I kept watching it. It took me a while to realize I love the fucking movie. I remember always watching it like, this is the weirdest fucking, why are there robots on fire and shit like that? It's just acid trip.
It is weird. And that's why it's fucking awesome.
Christian, don't sell yourself short. You made a fan film too. I've seen it.
No, I did not. I prefer to bury that thing as deep as I can.
We need to see that.
Oh, it's on his channel. It's on his channel. Yeah.
I'll when we get done with this, I'll play it. I'll play it.
I appreciate that, dude. There's so many cringy videos that I used to do. I mean, at least you had an idea. Mine was just cringy because I was cringy. There's a big difference. So yeah, there's nothing wrong with it.
And Nick, I know that you love this movie since the first time you saw it.
Yes.
Obviously. Yeah.
Yes.
Your review.
Yeah.
What's the terminology? The terminology you used was those. Like, what did you say? Those people piss me off. It's not a Halloween movie.
It's not a Halloween movie because it doesn't have Michael Myers in it. Yeah.
Yeah,
I did something.
For all you jackasses out there, that was what it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
I get that from casual people I talk to all the time. They're like, I hate that one because it doesn't have Michael Myers in it.
It's like, well, I'll just
go ahead, Nick. Go ahead. No.
I was just gonna say, I'm just gonna say legendary. I'm not even gonna waste anyone's time. So.
Agreed.
God damn, really? See, I thought that was going to be too much. I was going to say effing awesome because even though this is my favorite Halloween movie, I mean they're effing awesome. But
I'll say effing awesome. I don't think they've quite obtained legendary status just because they aren't quite as ingrained in the pop culture.
Okay, well that was where I was going with this too. Because this is a weird ranking to make and a weird kind of tier, and my tier names certainly don't make it any easier, for God's sakes. But that's the beauty of this. Nick or Brandon, one of you try to convince me or Ken to swap from effing awesome to legendary.
Nick, you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll give a part. You give a part. I'll just say this. That image is iconic, mainly the pumpkin. Like that pumpkin mask, I do think is iconic. And I will argue that it's a lot easier to put a Michael Myers mask in horror material because everybody knows Michael Myers. But as soon as Halloween 3's masks break off into other movies, that's when I feel like they have achieved that legendary status. And I know, and you know, that you've seen The Guest. And when they showed up in The Guest, that told me that a man that has never worked on the Halloween franchise ever had a deep affinity for that movie and wanted to represent it in his horror movie. And it's a fantastic movie, by the way, more of a thriller, but that right there was the crossing over into pop culture, I think, outside of the Halloween universe. So I think it's legendary.
And what's funny, the first time I watched The Guest, I didn't even get the reference because it was before I had revisited Halloween 3, so I didn't even notice
I
it
yelled
until
like a girl.
after I watched it, and then I went back.
All right, Brandon.
Oh,
I'm on
I
the
think
fence still.
the masks by themselves are just like, they're simple, classic Halloween masks. But when you put them together as a trio, everybody, I feel like they are as iconic. Maybe not as iconic, but they're getting up there, especially with the cult status of Halloween 3 going on. When you put the three of them together and you see them together, everybody knows what movie that is, especially these days. And like they become so ingrained, not only in the franchise and horror, but in like Halloween itself, the holiday. Like if you see orange, green, and white next to each other, you think these masks, whether you've seen Halloween 3 or not. I feel like that's why they're legendary now. Maybe 10 years ago, they were still fucking awesome, but I feel like they've surpassed that.
Well, Brandon, let's put the cherry on top of this shit Sunday for Christian too. It's not a shit Sunday, but I just wanted to say that. What do those masks do? They eviscerate your face from bugs and creatures from another dimension. Okay, any mask that can do that is fucking legendary.
Ken, how do you feel? Has your mind changed?
He's not.
Be honest, Ken.
I think there has to be a cutoff somewhere, and I would still put them in F and awesome. I don't think they've quite reached that legendary status yet. I think of people that are fans of the movie, definitely. But like I said before, I don't think enough people. But I'm going off of that. You could be using different criteria.
I think for these masks to still be relevant today for a movie that was hated when it came out speaks a lot to, I don't know, to the staying power of even in not the movie, but the masks. Believe it or not, I think there's a more affinity for the masks than the movie, if I'm being totally honest. So
I put them in legendary.
Yeah, that's right. You did.
We're gonna be moving on.
This next one's gonna be interesting.
I'm gonna be a pain in the ass about the Rob Zombie masks in a minute here.
I want you to be a pain in the ass. I need somebody to get into a fight. I need somebody to piss me off.
Yeah, my list is controversial as well. So, Brandon, I'm looking forward to this. I am.
Okay. So, next we're moving on to Halloween 4's The Return of Michael Myers mask. Very controversial mask.
Is it the mask from the movie or the mask from the VHS tape cover?
The movie.
I didn't add that to the I didn't add the peripheral masks to this tier. So unfortunately it is the movie. Obviously everybody feels a type of way about this one. I'll tell you where I would put this one right off the bat. I would put this one in It's Good People Bitch Too Much. That's my initial feeling on I don't it's not my favorite, but I've never once had a problem with the Halloween 4 mask. So for me personally, I think It's Good People Bitch Too Much. And you may look at the tiers and you just have to justify that really don't see what the big deal is. It's not that bad. Is slightly less good than It's Good People Bitch Too Much. Well, I guess it does make some bit of a sense. But I do have a couple that I think I would put in that one too. But for me, I'm closer to It's Good People Bitch Too Much than effing awesome. That's my initial answer is It's Good People Bitch Too Much.
That's interesting. I call this one the mask that looks like Michael Myers just got a thumb put up his butt. This is trash. And let me just say, this movie is awesome. I love this movie. One of the better Halloween movies, but I'm sorry, this mask is booty. So I'm putting it in trash.
Again, It's Good People Bitch Too Much. It was,
it's trash.
Just the irony of Nick saying that right after I've said It's Good People Bitch Too Much.
Oh, come on. I mean, I'm a diehard,
Bitching, Nick.
And you put this mask. I mean, it doesn't look anything like the previous mask. I'm sorry. Anyway,
that's something I never cared about, I guess. You know,
no, but there has
none
to
of the
be
Jasons look the
some
same from one
resemblance.
to another, and nobody really cares either about
But
that.
it's supposed to be the same mask. I mean, how many random white masks for random unnamed characters did they circulate in the 80s for no apparent reason that all kind of resemble each? You know what I mean? It's no. I think it's trash, but that's my opinion. Ken and Brandon, what do you guys think?
Ken, you can go first if you want.
You can go.
Okay, well, I'm gonna be this guy.
Somebody go.
For me, it's legendary. It's legendary. I've never had a problem with the mask. As a kid, it really freaked me out. I think it's still one of the scariest masks in the series. I can't really tell you why. And I think it seems like it embodies that blank, pale, emotionless face that Loomis is always talking about. And the shocked expression is hilariously goofy, but it's also like it's really disturbing and unnerving, and it makes me really uncomfortable at the same time. So I think that's why it's so frightening to me. But what you were saying, Nick, about it's supposed to be the same mask, I feel like if you wanted to put this into some kind of a plot device, it feels like the mask you see in 4 is a mask that the town manufactured to placate off the original murders 10 years before. So they didn't really nail it, if that makes any sense.
Absolutely. I mean, we see it all the time nowadays when people make ripoffs. So yeah, you're not wrong. I'm just bitching, I guess.
No, a lot of people hate that mask, but
you're bitching too much.
Here's my this is I forgot who made this, Brandon. It is I got this Cemetery Gates Studios, I think is the name of the company.
That's the Uncle V1. Yeah. His Uncle V2.
I like that one
too.
Yeah. It's really thick, man. The latex is like a half an inch thick. Oh, maybe not that thick, but you know what I mean? Like it's a thick piece of latex.
I owned one of those for a little bit. I couldn't wear it. It was too small because the latex.
It's not big. Yeah. All right, Ken, I'm listening while I put this mask up because we are in a weird range right now.
I didn't know that Brandon was going to be on the same page, but I'm going legendary too. I fucking love this mask.
Yes.
I love this mask. This is like, I just told you that Halloween 4 was the first Halloween movie I ever saw. So when I see Michael Myers for the first time raise up behind that bed in Danielle Harris's room,
great.
It scared the shit out of me. And that image has always resonated with me every single time I watch that movie. And it makes sense that the mask is shitty. Like you said, it looks like something they would have manufactured in the town. He just broke out of an asylum. He's not looking for the best looking mask. He just breaks into a regular old drugstore and gets the first mask he sees. It makes sense.
But I'm confused because I
never had a problem with it.
I'm confused because I hear the reasonings from you guys of that it's trash. Yes, it's a shitty mask, but it's legendary. So
it scares the shit out of me.
No, I get it. I get
it. Context is key, I think. So we're in an interesting position. So we have 1 trash. I say it's good. People bitch too much, and 2 legendaries. So let me wait till Brandon gets back. Hopefully he's not going to take a dump or something because I have an idea of what I should do here.
I was going to say, me and Brandon are in the majority here.
I think you are. I think most people. I mean,
but this is honestly the reason why I didn't want to put the Halloween 3 mask in legendary, because I didn't want 4 back to back in legendary. But yeah.
What do you got, Brandon? What do you got there?
All right, sorry, guys.
You got something to show me? Oh, there it is. Look at that. That's nice.
That looks just
Did
like
you
Christian.
do that one?
No, this is not mine. This is from AHG.
Okay.
He does the best fucking H4s in the game.
I love it.
Nick, tell me that's not horrifying to you.
No, I love that one.
Don't get me wrong, Brandon. I will say what you were saying about how it's creepy as fuck. I do think it is creepy. I really like when I was a kid, it scared me too. But yeah, no, it's guys, this is my favorite franchise. Okay, even the worst mask isn't a bad mask.
That mask literally has the blackest eyes.
So, hold on. So I'm confused.
Devil's eyes.
All right, Brandon. I'm gonna pull you off a solo. Those are really cool. If you have any more throughout the show, please grab them. So Nick, I'm confused. So you think it's scary, or do you think it's trash? Like, or is it that it doesn't look like the first one? Because I'm really trying to understand your thought process on this.
I guess I'm being a little more. I think I'm just being. I don't know. I'm being objective at the same time as like I'm comparing it to what came before, and I think that it is a steep drop in quality to what came before it. Having said that, though, when I was a kid, yeah, it did freak me out. But how many things freaked you out at one point in your life that you can go back? The Leprechaun scared me when I was a kid. That shit doesn't scare me anymore. That's not to say that it still has to scare you to be a good mask. I think maybe I'm prisoner of that moment from 78 and 81 and just being like, really? Like this was the next mask? I don't know. I mean, I feel like there was a weird portion of this franchise where the masks got a little weird before they kind of got back on track again. And obviously we're gonna talk about the next one. But I don't know. I guess look, all right. I really don't see. I'll move it. I really don't see what the problem is. It's not that bad. I'll do that. I wrote on my list. Funny. You should put me on the spot like this because I wrote on my list. There's only one mask on here that is abject trash. But your tiers, I think, kind of confused me a little bit because none of them sound bad except the last one. So I feel like I have to say, trash if I think it's not good. But I'll separate myself from
the reason I made these kind of tier names. It's supposed to be funny, obviously, but I think this is the kind of phraseology people use in real life as opposed to good, bad, great. People say, dude, it's not that bad. I don't see what the problem is. People say that kind of shit. So that's why I named these tiers that.
You're not wrong in doing that. You're not wrong in doing that, but I just feel like if the second to last tier was like, okay, meh, like I could see, but I can.
Well,
I can
it kind of is that. It's all on how you read it. If you say it,
yeah, I'm coming to terms with that now. So I will go ahead and put it in it's not that bad. But we've got two legendaries.
At the end of the day, you've got 2 versus 1 versus 1. It's legendary.
Well, this is what I was going to say. Tell me if you guys think this is fair, okay? You got 2 guys that are hard legendaries. Love that. I said it's good. People bitch too much. And if Nick, irregardless whether Nick goes trash or really don't see that big of the deal, the way I kind of math that out in my head, I think that with all of that in tandem, it would be fair to put the Halloween 4 mask in effing awesome.
Effing awesome.
Do you think that's fair, guys?
That's fair.
Brandon, Ken?
I'll accept it.
Fair's good.
You'll accept it. Okay.
I'll accept it.
Okay. So moving on.
Here we go.
To
Nick Cage.
Halloween 5's mask. Let me start this with what's probably going to be the opposite reaction from somebody, Mr. Brandon Tabato.
I'm going to put it in. Really don't see the big deal. It's not that bad. I'm not a fan of the H5 mask. I don't think it's trash. There's a couple in this series that I do think is fucking trash. But I'm going to say really don't see the big deal. It's not that bad. I fucking love the movie. Halloween 5 is great. I'm appreciating it more and more every year. It's an art film. It's an art house Halloween film. The movie's fantastic. But the mask, I can't get on board with it. I just can't get into it for some reason. But it's not trash. You know what I mean? It's not trash for sure. So I'm going to put it in the really don't see the big deal. It's not that bad. If there was a tier in between trash and that one, like what the hell or meh, I would put it there. But for now, I'll put it in the really don't see the big deal. Final answer.
Okay. Final answer.
Christian thinks he knows where I'm going with this because he said you were going to have an opposite reaction of somebody else, but you may be surprised.
Well, I was referring to Brandon because Brandon loved 4, but I knew he wasn't a big fan of 5. That's what I meant.
Okay.
But since you brought it up, go ahead. Where are you going with Halloween 5?
I love the movie, but I'm gonna say the same thing. I really don't see the problem. It's not that bad. It's not one of my favorites. I do like that it's a little more pronounced than the other one, though. Whether it be the nose or the jawline, it's a little more human. that's a good thing for some people and a bad thing for others. But yeah, it's just okay. Take it or leave it. But I'm right in line with Brandon there.
All right, so we've got 2 in the really don't see a big deal. It's not that bad. I'll get Ken to go last. I personally think that the H5 mask is effing awesome.
Wow.
I love the H5 mask. I think it's one of the meanest masks in the series. I love it. That's me. So maybe Ken will split the difference, or maybe he's going to go trash.
I really like the mask. To me, the tier "it's good, people bitch too much" was tailor made for this mask, so I would put it there. I don't think it's awesome or legendary, but I would put it right in the middle.
I think that the math checks out on that, Christian. It should land right there in the middle then. If we've got 1 effing awesome and 2 at the 4th tier, it should land right in the 3rd tier, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
It's good. People bitch too much.
And that's
All
true
right,
too.
so-
People do bitch a lot about this mask. Like I don't hate it. People bitch a lot about this mask.
Especially when those 4Ks were announced. Like that's the one people bitched in general about the design with the leaves in the background, but like
Yeah,
this particular cover was definitely talked about the most.
They still fucking bought them, Ken.
Well, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
That they did.
Yeah, they did. Christian and I went round and round about that, talking about every motherfucker that is like, this is stupid. Probably went out and bought those. So
Would I have liked a different design? Yes. I did. I still didn't see a problem with them. I still didn't mind them.
Okay, so if you guys don't mind, I'll gladly start Halloween 6s. In my humble opinion, I think that the Halloween 6 mask is legendary. I think it's the devil himself. So anybody want to follow that up? Go right ahead.
effing awesome.
Okay.
This is the one when I was a kid that probably scared me the most. But going back and rewatching this movie within the last couple of years, I'm honestly not the biggest fan of it. I still think the mask is awesome, though. I would put it effing awesome.
Okay, so we got 2 for effing awesome and 1 for legendary.
I'm gonna say legendary.
Okay.
Scariest mask of the series. It's still the scariest mask of the series for me. That mask scares the fucking shit out of me. H4 is the second scariest for me, but H6 has and will always be the scariest fucking Michael Myers mask. Not my favorite mask overall, but the scariest mask for sure.
I mean, I guess we got to figure out what to do. I mean, because if you ask me, I think that the H6 mask is way better than any mask in this franchise, including the first one.
We can do simple math here, guys, and I'm willing to grant this if you guys are. If we've got 2 legendaries, say that's 100%. We've got 2 effing awesomes, that's 80%. 80 plus 80 plus 100 plus 100 is 360. Divided 4 ways is 90. That's an A minus, but it's still an A minus. So if you want to put it in legendary, I'll give it to you.
I'll give you legendary.
Okay, I'll accept it.
And math was my weakest subject.
All right, so I've got to get to a mask I think is trash soon because I've got to get.
Oh, we're there.
I got to get.
We're there.
So, I guess we should bring it up. Like, obviously, there's a big mess with Halloween H2O. They use some different masks. Obviously, they even used a curse mask a little bit, and then they had a CGI mask because it was a shit show, and a bunch of cooks in the kitchen, yada yada blah blah. But what I ended up going with was what was the design that was used, that you see in some of the main shots where Laurie sees Michael outside of the window in that corridor by the building where they face-to-face meet up and stuff, and the design that Trick or Treat Studios went with. If you haven't noticed, a lot of these images I've used are the actual Trick or Treat Studios because they're easy. They're the first things that pop up when I Google image these. Me personally, I guess I'd put Halloween H2O in either really don't see the big deal, it's not that bad, or trash. I really don't have a dog in the fight. So I'll just see what everybody else kind of says, and then we'll figure it out.
Brandon?
But
I'm gonna say really don't see the big deal. It's not that bad for H2O for the hero mask that we're talking about specifically. I fucking hate the eye thing. He looks so goofy, like when he's like going like this through the mask and shit. I'm like, that's terrible. But the mask itself has some good creepy qualities to it. I just think it fit too closely to the actor's face. That was my biggest gripe with it. And the hair was a little bit too like plumy. I wish they kind of had it combed back more, but that was my biggest gripe.
Ken?
I think it's trash. I've never been a big fan of it.
And I'm going to land right there with you, Ken. I think it's trash. I think that although the hero mask is probably used about 70% of the time in that movie, there's still about 30% of the movie where you can clearly see different masks that are god awful. The only time that the mask on screen isn't a problem to me is the H6 mask for one shot. Yeah, there's the H2O mask that Christian showing right there. Is that Tots?
No, this was a solo artist. I got this back in 2012 or something, and this is based on the majority of the shots. You'll see the actual mask at. You can see the neck goes up a little bit, kind of like H6 does too, but the eye holes are pretty big. And I like this mask. I don't love it, but I like it. I don't think it's that bad, quite frankly. I personally think trash is way too harsh on this mask. But if you guys think it's trash, we'll have to figure that out.
That's a damn good H2O indie mask, man. What is the name of that mask? I always forget that mask. All I would do was support artists and get all kinds of masks that they would do. I'd find, and I was never like a screen accuracy guy. If I just liked a particular design guys would make, I'd get them. But I like that H2O mask a lot. So I don't know, guys. I think trash is just harsh on that one. But I mean, if the thing is, I can meet you halfway because the movie decisions and everything was a disaster. I mean, it really was. So the decision making is absolute trash. So like, I really wouldn't have a dog in the fight on it.
It's just the fact that there's so many damn masks in the movie. There's the fat cheeked one that you see multiple times throughout the movie that is just bad. The CGI one, we don't even need to talk about it. It is like the most horrible use of CGI in film I think I've seen. Although Slender Man might have taken the cake. It's like I said,
stupid.
It's horrible decision making. And again, Brandon mentioned a really good point that I don't think gets mentioned enough. Chris Durand was a shit Michael Myers. Like, I'm just gonna say that. Undersized, didn't have the walk right, the way he used his eyes. Like, who told you to use your eyes when acting as the shape? And he uses them so much. And the idea of the shape is there are no eyes, basically, and it's just no.
The answer to your question is Steve Miners, who told them to use his eyes.
Yeah, and that was terrible by Steve Miner.
I don't think he's that bad. I think that's harsh too, man. I think he's actually pretty damn good. I don't want anybody to be like Nick Castle. They already did that movie.
I always thought it was cool the way he flipped those tables. Walking through.
Yeah, but come on, this isn't about him being like Nick Castle. There are plenty of Michael Myers performers that I fucking love what do you mean? Different than Nick Castle.
But you said he didn't have the walk down.
The walk. I mean, the walk. The walk is something.
I don't. Which walk are you referring to? Is what I'm saying.
The walk
I'm
is
assuming
like
the first
the
one.
right. The right walk is like a glide. It's almost like it's not a walk, really. It's just kind of like floating on air. It's effortless. It is so, every step is the same, but it looks so effortless while doing it. And then Dick Warlock in H2 had every step the same, but it looked a little stiff At no point did Nick Castle look stiff as Michael Myers or Tyler Mane or James Jude Courtney. Those three guys that I would put as the three best. George Wilbur's great in 6, and he's okay in 4. Part of the reason that he wasn't as great in 4 is the damn shoulder pads and all that shit they put on him that made him look kind of dumb. But it's a glide. It's a glide. It's very, I don't know. It's this brisk pace that almost looks like he's just floating on air.
Can I interject here?
Yeah.
Go ahead, please.
In Halloween 6, when Myers is power walking through those dark hallways, that shit is fucking terrifying. End of interjection.
But he looks pissed off. Like, that's not a glide. He's fucking going to kill somebody.
Michael Myers in H2O looks like Ben Tramer as he's walking through the street.
Yes. Thank you, kid. He literally looks like that, especially with the eyes too. He's always like, oh, like, no. I'm sorry, dude. I don't know. H6, I will say, that's the only part in that movie though where you get that sense from George Wilbur. I think the rest of the movie's played pretty straight to kind of the style that Castle had. But that one scene is just funny because you can see while the doctor's running, he's kind of speed walking behind him. He'll like speed up and then like slow down.
That's
like,
terrifying.
No, I like that scene.
That is terrifying. You know?
But yeah. Okay, Christian, if you feel like we've got 2 trash, we've got 2, it's not that bad.
I think we can go trash because it's a mess. It's the whole movie's a mess with that aspect, and I'm gonna have to put that into effect. I think that's fair to do that. I mean, it was a disaster. They had to legitimately CGI a mask on because they used something wrong. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's just absolutely ridiculous. I love the movie, but there's no denying it was a shit show.
And it's crazy that had to happen. That production was so messed up when you had Steve freaking Miner as your director. You had the Dimension at their peak, and you brought Jamie Lee Curtis back, and somehow the production was a shit show. It makes no sense at all. But we're gonna
put it in trash. All right, we're going to trash, and next up we have 2002's License to Drive, as Ken would say, Halloween Resurrection Mask.
All time legendary. No, I'm just joking.
You stole my joke.
Let's start with you, Ken. What do you think about the mask?
It's horrible.
Oh man,
it's trash again. Yeah.
Tell me why it's trash, just so I can feel you out a little bit. Because I'm taking everything you guys say into my consideration as I'm processing. Because I don't know where I'm going with this.
I'm just now realizing this as I'm looking at it, but it actually does look a little bit like Busta Rhymes. Do you think that they did that on purpose?
Maybe they used him for the molding.
I just hate the way it looks. I hate the slicked back hair, and I like slicked back hair on some of the masks.
Do you like the purple lips?
The lips are just too pronounced.
Yes.
It's bad. I'm sorry, it's trash.
Okay.
You're going to offend everyone, Ken. We're all huge Resurrection fans over here.
Look, the movie itself I can have fun with, but I remember even back in the day, and I didn't even really pay attention to all this stuff back then. It really stood out to me. It's just not scary at all. Like, everything about it. Like, I had fun with the movie, but like Michael Myers, him being scary from my childhood, the feeling I felt back then, I just didn't have it anymore. Right. And a lot of that had to do with H2O in this one. Just the look of him.
Nick, you can go ahead. Where would you put the Resurrection Mash?
Believe it or not, even though I think this movie is a pile of steaming dog shit, it's good. It's good. People bitch too much. I don't want to say that because it sounds like I'm saying, well, you know what? No, because Ken was giving me shit with Halloween 4.
I'm bitching too much.
It's good. I think it's okay. It's not.
You got to say the name of the whole tier properly.
It's good. People bitch too much.
See, this is what makes it so fun.
I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's like an abject travesty. There's certain moments where the lighting actually really accentuates it. I think with the scene where he's walking down the hallway in the sanitarium at the end of the opening, I think the lighting makes it look really cool there, and when he's underneath the house and stuff. And then there's the scene where Busta's wearing it, and he's like, "I paid you to be Michael Myers," and it's like you really can see, like in that bright manufactured light, like, oh man, that is not flattering to that mask at all. So overall, it's just it's okay.
Brandon, are you ready? Do you want to go last, Brandon?
I'm ready. I'm gonna say that this mask is trash. I am not a fan of
Come
of
on,
Resurrection.
Brandon. Come on, dude.
The problem with the mask,
killing me.
you can have a little bit of fun with the movie. It's not. I don't think it's my least favorite film out of the Halloween series. I don't think. But the mask itself, the face is too elongated. The lips are too puckered. I'm not a fan of the like blatant eyeliner the mask has, and the mask, it looks too angry. Like Halloween 5's mask looked angry too, but that's about as angry as I want a Myers mask to get. The Resurrection mask just looks way too angry, and he looks like, I forgot what the name of the villain was, but the mask in Resurrection looks like that fucking villain from Scooby-Doo. Where are you? The green guy with the purple hat.
Oh
His fucking face looks like to me in that movie.
Well, you just mentioned something that makes me think I know where Christian's going to go. You said he looks angry, and Christian liked the H5.
Well, my honest answer was going to be, really don't see the big deal. It's not that bad. That was where I was going to go, but we're in some bit of a pickle because we've got one count for the tier above me, and then we've got 2 for trash. So, I don't know what we should do here.
Think very hard and carefully about this, Christian, because if you go trash, it is objectively trash. But if you go really don't see the big deal, we can split the difference, and it can end up in really don't see the big deal.
And that's my honest feeling, is I don't think it's that bad. I think actually seeing Busta Rhymes in the mask is probably why Ken says it looks like Busta, because it really, like, you can't get that image out of your head.
Do you think it would have been a better ending if it was revealed that Busta was Michael Myers the whole time, and they had like a Friday 5 type ending, and it wasn't really Michael Myers, and he really did die when he got his head chopped off?
I think they got it right. I think the ending is fantastic in Resurrection.
What?
Crickets.
What the fuck did you just say?
Honestly, my honest answer is really don't see the big deal. It's not that bad.
I think it's pretty bad.
Yeah, well, I think people bitch too much.
Brandon,
I don't see how anybody can think this is not trash. But again, that's just
okay.
I think people bitch too much.
Hey, remember, we put H2O in trash. If this movie,
you're right.
Trash,
H2O is a better mask than this one.
Oh, I will. Those are fighting words. Those are fighting words. Christian, do not succumb to the peer pressure.
You all know that you don't really want to fight too much over Resurrection's mask.
God, no, not at all. I don't want to talk about it.
It's not worth it. Just put it in trash. That's
here's the thing, Ken. Let me rationale a little bit, and then maybe you can see. My honest answer my honest retort to that is, I do think that the Resurrection mask is cooler than H2O.
Agreed. That angry look makes it cooler, I think. I do. I like the pissed off look.
I just think it's way too glossy and smooth. I really like the washed out, almost bleach texture of Curse. That's why Curse is legendary to me. It's so just demonic. This one is a little too smooth and washed out, but I do like the angry expression, or at least stern would be the word. Maybe not angry. But I think it's better than H2O. I don't know. Ken, what do you think?
I think that me and Brandon, we lost our Halloween 4 and Legendary, so I think that you owe us Resurrection and trash.
Is that a fair? Brandon, do you think that's fair?
Look, I can't argue with that at all.
Oh,
all right. I'll put it in trash.
Oh,
all right. So it is what it is. We'll give it to him, Nick. We'll give it to him.
Yeah,
I think the majority of people would probably say it's trash too.
That's just because, a majority of people. Ken is a very rare breed.
I thought you were going to say that's just because people bitch too much.
No. Hey, Ken, I can't say that Ken's bias is showing because he doesn't hate the movie. So it's like he's a rare breed. You got to give credit for that. Most people would say it's trash because the movie's trash. So
Okay, so we are going to move on
This'll
to
be
Rob
interesting.
Zombie's Halloween. Now, the image I decided to use, guys, let me just stick it right here so you can see it. I decided to use the clean image of the mask where you first are introduced to it. You can do the mask as a whole throughout the movie if you'd like, where it becomes petrified and scarred as well. It's the same mask, obviously, just it ages a lot. So you can put that into your consideration for the mask. So I'm going to let anybody else take the floor because, quite frankly, I've never thought about this that much before, so I have zero idea where to go. So whatever you say, be convincing because you could sway me. I'm just saying. So whoever wants to go first on the
Ooh.
07 mask.
Okay.
I'm
Wayne
listening.
Toth is a fantastic makeup effects artist. I've always appreciated Wayne Toth. And I think that when I saw this mask, it had the perfect blend of that angry personified look of the Halloween 5, where it looks more human but it also looks kind of angry. Although it looks
Does it
goofy.
look more human than human?
You son of a
Yes.
bitch.
I think it's goofy on Dag Fairch when he's a kid because it's way too big.
Mm-hmm.
But
I
oh my
hated that.
God.
I hated that so
It
much.
is, yeah, that's corny. But when he pulls that shit up out of the floorboards and puts that on in in the scene when he breaks out and he gets back home, that shit looks awesome. So I don't know. Maybe I'm biased, and this is my my third least favorite Halloween movie. Do not love the movie. I gotta go legendary. I think I gotta go legendary.
Okay. Who wants to go next? Not all at once.
I'll
I
go
don't
next.
really. Yeah,
Actually,
go ahead.
Ken,
Go ahead.
Ken, go ahead.
I honestly don't really think about the mask too much. I have too many other feelings about the movie that it kind of just takes over. I'll say it's good. People bitch too much. But I don't know if anybody really bitches about this mask. But I hate the image of it on the little kid. I think it looks stupid. I do like Tyler Mane as
Strike that
Michael
image
Myers.
from your mind. Just take
That's
the
the
mask.
image you
Okay.
The
chose.
mask
That's the image
itself.
you have. I'm looking at
Yeah,
it right
look
now.
at
I know.
it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Strike that image because
It's
it was
really
just the first.
weird.
I was doing this last minute, so that was the first thing that pulled up on Google, and I just pulled it. I understand that, but like
When I think about
just
this movie, I have almost like no image of the mask itself. It's like I can't even visualize it right now, other than the image I'm being presented. But I don't think it's an awful mask. I mean, I'll say it's good. I'll say it's good.
but people
Brandon, I
bitch
saw
too
you
much.
shaking your head. I
People
saw you
bitch
shake.
too much.
Saw you shaking your head, Brandon. Come on. Lay the heat.
If we were judging just by the white mask that young Michael wears, I would say it's trash. I'm not trying to burst anybody's bubble, but I just don't like the jaw looks too. This is the wrong phrase, but like Conan the Barbarian, like it's too much of a jaw at the bottom. I just don't like the way the white mask looks. With that said, the decayed mask later on would have to be fucking awesome because that mask is epic. So that's my final answer for the 2007 Rob Zombie remake is fucking awesome. Not for the white mask, but for the decayed mask that is in the second half of the movie.
And I should say, Christian, that's where I'm basing it off of too. I'm thinking of adult Michael with Tyler Mane wearing that shit. I love that mask. So,
What about the paper mache one and the
oh, it's
mentalist
legendary. It's legendary.
I think that one's
Nope.
probably the best mask of the movie.
We can
man.
we can do a peripheral list soon where we take all the weird shit from the movies and take the little clown mask from the beginning of the first movie and
Oh,
stuff
dear
like
God.
that.
Can you do his beard from H2? Hobo Michael?
Yeah, without question. My gut answer before we started this, I said I didn't know, but I did have an idea. My gut answer, and I'm still basically in the same spot, is effing awesome. So that's where that was my gut answer. So if
All right,
we
Ken,
have a
how do you feel
legendary
then?
2F,
Yeah. I was gonna say, do you feel that's fair to put it in F and awesome, Ken?
You can move it to F and awesome. Look, I strongly dislike the movie, but like you said earlier, I'm trying to take my personal bias out of it. And if
No,
you
and
want to
I
put it
credited you.
F and awesome,
You have been keeping your bias out of it. I credit you for that.
yeah, you can put an F and awesome. Not on that kid, but after that, maybe.
I should have used a different image. Well, when we split the math on that, if there's a legendary and then there's it's good but people bitch too much, having two effing awesomes basically negates the legendary and it's good but people bitch too much. So it's like I think effing awesome is a fair place to have that one.
I would agree.
Okay, Brandon, I'm gonna start with you this time.
Ooh.
We're gonna go to Halloween 2009.
I'm going to be a bit of a pain in the ass on this one. So 2009 Rob Zombie. The mask you have in that photo looks like the dream sequence mask, right? From the beginning of Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, where she's in the hospital. That mask that's pictured, I wish they had used in the entire film, but that mask I would put as fucking awesome right off the bat. It would almost be legendary. But I'm gonna have to put it as fucking awesome. It's fantastic. It's not really the same mask from the second and third act of Halloween 2007. It's a little bit wider than the decayed mask he uses. The hair is a little bit grayer, and that's in the movie too. It seems like a different mask, and it's fantastic. But then we go in. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just going to ask you, do you think that had anything to do with Tyler Maine's gigantic beard underneath it that made it look wider, or do you know if it was actually a different sculpt?
I don't know if it was a different sculpt, but I'm pretty sure it was obviously a different paint up. I'm not sure if they did that just because it was a dream sequence or what, but like if you pause that scene, the mask looks like pearl white. It looks grungy, but it looks pearl white. But if you go back and watch the second and third act of Halloween 07, the mask is like gray and like you can see like the divots and stuff. And like it's not there for that mask. At least you can't see it. Yeah, like look at this right here.
That mask, yeah, it's amazing. I love that mask.
The dream sequence mask kicks ass. With that said, I cannot stand the hobo mask for the duration of Halloween 2, which is him in the hood right there, and it gets ripped later on. It's like that mask is all brown. So if it was the dream sequence mask, it would be fucking awesome. But if I'm rating it on the hobo mask, it's going to be trash. So I'm not really sure.
Are you going to split your difference, or
I'll split my difference. I'll split my difference. Easiest way, I think. Because the dream sequence is what 5% of the film. I'll do.
It's not that bad. Yeah.
Not that.
Sorry, my remote on my mouse died for a second. The battery's getting low. Okay, so we've got a vote for it's good, but people bitch too much, or don't see the big deal. It's not that bad. Which one?
Because the hobo mask is fucking trash. Fucking awesome to fuck him trash. I guess really don't see the big deal. That's the give or take. It's gonna have
because the trash mask is in the film for a lot more of a majority than the
other
one.
I feel like that's the mask in that film was the hobo thing. I'm just not a fan of it at all. But the nightmare sequence mask kind of saves it. So I'll put really don't see the big deal. That's fair.
All right, so we're gonna move on to the other two guys while I start getting this opened up so I can change the batteries in here. So Ken or Nick, I'm listening.
Go ahead, Ken.
I really like the image of him. I don't know if you would count this as the actual mask, but I love the image where part of it starts to have peeled away and you can see part of his face. I think that's super cool. It kind of reminds me of the Terminator a little bit, if I'm being honest. I don't know. I think it's pretty effing awesome. I like it. I like it. I would put it there. I can't get it to legendary, but it's a pretty cool mask. I enjoy it.
Well, I'm glad to hear that from you, Ken. I would say it was legendary if it were the mask from the opening sequence, as Brandon had mentioned. It's not, obviously, as we know. There's something about the realism of Rob's movies anyway that I've always enjoyed, even with the many flaws. I love the grittier, more realistic approach. And I feel like the ripped part of the mask just adds to that. It would make sense if you have a, tattered mask that's falling apart, and people are clawing at you and trying to fight back when you're trying to kill them. They're bound to get that mask at some point. And so to rip a piece off of it makes sense to me. And one of my favorite shots in the movie is right after he kills the stripper and he turns his head slowly and it's a close in on his face and the disco ball's going and it's like bringing light around in a circle and it goes right across his face and you just see his like cheek and his eye after it had just been ripped off. I fucking love that shot. I'm going to go effing awesome. I am. I think that this was, I think it's great.
All right, so I heard Nick's answer. He's effing awesome. Brandon was, I really don't see what the big deal is. It's not that bad. And Ken, where are you sitting?
I would say it's effing awesome. I like the look of him with it partly torn off. But to be completely honest, this is probably my least watched Halloween movie. So again, I don't have it visualized quite as well as I do some of the other ones.
It's emotionally taxing. This movie is. It's not one that you put on to have a good time.
I absolutely hated it when I saw it back in 2009 in the theaters. It actually killed my love for going to the movies for a while because I think I saw this in Transformers Revenge of the Fallen like within a couple months and I was like I'm done with movies now. So it took me into I rewatched it like 8 or 9 years ago and I do remember that hospital scene. I did not remember that at all when I first saw it, but that was such a cool sequence and kind of bringing in the original Halloween 2. So I really enjoyed it the second time I watched it, but yeah, I've only seen the movie twice. So, but I think
we're in a bit of a predicament. We're in a bit of a predicament here because my answer was going to be Legendary.
Yes.
So if we've got two,
I think then it lands in effing awesome, right? That's what we did last time.
I guess so. That makes sense. Brandon looks so pissed off right now.
No, it makes sense. I guess
just kidding.
First ended up. But question: are you speaking more towards the dream sequence mask or towards the hobo mask?
All of it.
All of it. Yeah.
I love it. I love it to death. I love all of it. I think it's some of the scariest shit in the world, man. I love it. I love anger. And I think that all of it exudes it. Now, I think that the dream sequence is probably some of the best stuff in the entire franchise, quite frankly. Much less just the look of the mask and all that. So, but I love it. I love Hobo Myers. I think it's just fucking heavy metal. So, I guess we're gonna put that in effing awesome. So
these next two are going to be very, very interesting where you guys land here. I am excited for this.
Well, why don't you lead us off with Halloween 2018's mask?
Okay. So when this movie first came out, I would have said Legendary. And I don't want to tip my hand, but you know, as time's gone on, it's a good sculpt, but Rob Zombie did the decayed thing way better. Like, I just think that the decrepit mask in his movie looks more realistic than, and this is supposed to be twice as old. I don't know about that. Let me know how a latex mask that is not preserved holds up after 40 years. I don't think it's going to look the way it does in this movie. It's good. People bitch too much. They don't bitch too much about this mask. The consensus usually is that people really like this mask. Maybe that was just part of the novelty of it, you know, the movie and everything and the hype around it. It's good. It's good.
Okay, so we got one for it's good. People bitch too much. Does anybody else want to go next, or do you want me to go? Or
I can go. I think it's good. People bitch too much is fair for this mask. I would have said effing awesome if it were 4 years ago when I saw it in theaters, or just when I saw the first trailer and watching him like put it on for the first time. Just brought me back all those old school Halloween feels. It's okay. So I would put it in. It's good.
You know, Ken, can I just ask you really quick? And I want to know what your guys' opinion is on this too. I feel like the scene where he puts the mask on in this movie, I do not like the way it's shot at all through the back windshield
yeah.
of a car in the daylight. You know, it's like it's supposed to be this big moment, and it's like, let's shoot it through a windshield in the daylight, and then we'll have the trunk closing in the middle of it, so it just like kind of interrupts the shot. I'm like, Rob Zombie did it so much better with his reveal. Like,
I'll also say that the first poster they put out for this movie is horrible, and it's my least favorite poster of the entire franchise, with him like hulking over with like the woods in the background. And that was the image they put on the steelbook, and I would not buy it until they re-released it with the different artwork. But yeah, so that image definitely takes away from it as well. But I don't think it's bad. I'm honestly pretty indifferent about it. I'd say it's good.
Okay, so we've got 2 for it's good, but people bitch too much. I'll go next, and I'll let Brandon see what happens. To me, this mask is trash. I hate it.
wow.
And a lot of it is for the reasons Nick brought up. It's going to look like this after 40 years. Ridiculous. I think it sucks. I think it's the most uninspired thing I've ever seen in my life. So to me, it's trash. And to me, it's the lowest trash of this entire series, quite frankly.
There goes Christopher Nelson ever coming on the podcast.
And Christian, did you always feel that way? Did you feel that way the first time you saw it in the trailer?
Absolutely not. I was ecstatic to see a Halloween film in the theater like everybody else. And then about 3 weeks later, the honeymoon period wears off and you start saying to yourself, you know what? I don't think this thing was that great. So I think that the mask is garbage. Hate it. So that's where I'm sitting. And I'm a hard trash. You're not going to convince me.
Hard trash.
This is the lowest. To me, this is the lowest trash in the series, mask wise.
Hated it.
So, Brandon, let's.
I'm gonna say, really don't see the big deal. It's not that bad, only because there's not a tier in between trash and that one. I'm really not a fan of this mask. Some of the shots in the film, it looks pretty mean, which I enjoy some of those shots, but the mask itself, latex, as you guys were saying, does not age like that. Masks don't develop old man wrinkles. It's just not how latex ages. Have you guys seen the shot of the hero mask from the original film that Dick Warlock owned and then sold? Have you guys seen how that looks?
Yes,
the mouth run. That would have been much more frightening if they had replicated something like that for this film, because that would have been believable. Even if you don't know how masks age, I feel like everybody knows how rubber ages, like when it gets old. So you can, like, I don't know, I don't see how people bought into it so hardcore. Like, it's a cool mask in some shots, but it's gonna have to be really don't see the big deal, not that bad. Would be in between trash and that, but since that's not existent, I'm gonna go with that.
Next list, Christian, we got to have a meh tier.
I think it's definitely the scariest in that backyard sequence with the flash and light. Like
that's the best sequence in the entire movie.
Awesome.
Yeah. Now, it should be said, I like James himself, the guy who did the job, but I just think that this mask is ridiculous. It's just like the movie itself, just ridiculous. So I gotta say it's trash. But if we've got 2 people that think it's good, I think it's trash, and one guy that thinks it's not that bad. I guess that Halloween 2018 is not that bad. So we got one more to do. Halloween Kills mask.
Christian, let me take the lead on this one.
Good.
There's effing awesome, there's legendary, and then there's fucking legendary. This mask kicks ass, okay? Everything about the 2018 mask is pretty much washed away because this shit gets burnt to shit and looks totally different. And that burnt look, it's a new sculpt too. It's angrier. It is meaner, and it fits the feel of the movie. I hated the Trick or Treat Studios one they put out, though. It looked like burnt mustard shit on it. It was awful. But the mask they use in this movie, it is fucking legendary. I love this mask. That poster is one of my favorite posters in this series. It's legendary. Legendary. That's where I'm going.
Okay.
Brandon was shaking his head. Brandon, you take it.
I'm right there with Nick. It's legendary for me. The fact that it's not the same sculpt, really helps. It looks way meaner than the 2018 mask. It doesn't look like that mask at all to me, actually. The fact that it's burnt, the cinematography really helps that fucking mask and kills too. But that mask is just, it's on the level of Halloween 6, 4, and 2 for me as far as scary Michael Myers masks. It's not as scary as 6 or 4 for me, but it's a damn scary fucking Michael Myers masks, and eons times better than the 2018 mask. I can't even really describe in words what I'm trying to fucking say here about the kills mask, but it is by far superior to the 2018 mask in every way.
I actually have this as my second favorite mask in the series after the original mask. That's how much I love this mask. And there's no better look at this mask than after he kicks the door and the nurse shoots herself and he's standing there and the camera shoots from up the ground. Oh, yes.
Yeah. And if I can add this to now that we're on Halloween Kills, the flashback mask I thought was fucking trash. Just putting that out there real quick.
It's my favorite.
Everybody loved it. Everybody loved it, and I thought that mask was very meh.
The sequence was fantastic, but the mask does not look like the 78 mask at all. It looks so fucking derpy.
Yes,
thank
you. Everybody loves that mask, and the first time I saw it,
I like it. I like that mask.
I love it, for the record, but I love that scene in the movie too.
The scene's great. I just feel
I
like
could be blinded by that.
They could have found a better approximation. It's probably an estate problem with Shatner or some shit, but
he fucking hates. Yeah, he hates being associated with it. So I could totally.
To me, it felt like a cross between the first and the second one. It didn't quite feel like the first one, but it kind of felt like.
I like seeing a clean mask again. I thought it was like
it was so white.
I like it.
Just looks so good.
So we got 2 legendaries.
I'm gonna let Christian go. I don't think you all are gonna want to hear what I have to say.
Oh God, no!
I can agree that I think it's cooler than 18 because it's different. There's a burnt thing that's new that hadn't really been done before for the movie. I think they burnt his mask at the end of Resurrection, but you see that for a smidge, and that's the end of the movie. So to have a movie with that is cool. But for me to say it's anything anywhere near legendary would sound fucking ridiculous on my end, because it's, even though it's the same thing, it's just burnt. I'd go to really don't see the big deal. It's not that bad. That's where I would put it.
It's not though. It's a different sculpt. It's not.
Okay, awesome. It doesn't change my answer.
No, that's fine. I'm just saying I'm just saying though it's not the same as 2018. I get your sentiment that it's the same mask and I didn't like that previous mask. It's just burnt. But Christopher Nelson, I think, intentionally made a new sculpt because I didn't care much for the previous sculpt.
Yeah, so. I like it, but I like it. I don't dislike it at all. It's far from anywhere near my favorite, and it's good. But I would put it and really don't see the big deal. It's not that bad. That's where
I'm getting some Oscar the Grouch vibes coming from. It smells.
Like, I really
don't.
I really don't like this movie. But even in my waning love of 2018, when they dropped that trailer for Halloween Kills and I saw this motherfucker come out of the house flaming, it was so awesome. I'll put it in legendary.
Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go.
I was leading y'all on a little bit.
Yeah.
I was leading y'all on.
I am so stoked.
And this is the only. I'm not as big of a mask guy as you guys are, but I bought this mask. Burnt shit, mustard look and all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still bought it. I love the mask. Now the movie, not so much.
Legendary, but yeah, absolutely. Christian, where does that put us? If we have 3 legendaries, that's legendary by default, isn't it?
It is. So it's going in legendary. All right. So now we're at a crossroads. We're going to line these up.
Well,
so let's start.
Hold on, Christian. Hold on. I've got something for the people. We have to rate one more mask.
The Spirit Halloween one. Is that what you got?
So if you'll oblige, bring me up for the people real quick.
Okay.
I want you guys to rate this mask.
Legendary. That's legendary all day long. I love that mask. That's scary. That mask is scary.
I mean, look at this ugly This
It looks like Rick James.
That's terrifying. That is horror. Imagine that's coming at you.
I mean, I got this at Spirit Halloween in 2011, and it is from Falcon.
Yeah.
And it is garbage.
You should send it to Brandon to rehaul.
I don't have it displayed.
People have been rehauling those, and they can make them into some really sick H5 masks because the sculpt is pretty H5.
He's smiling.
His hair. This motherfucker's balding everywhere.
Yeah,
I mean,
I love that mask.
So yeah, that's
a classic.
When I knew we were doing this, I pulled that out of a storage bin, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm getting my 15 seconds of fame."
It reminds me of the mask I would buy when I was a kid.
Yeah,
Michael Myers mask.
And we always thought they were cool. We were like, "Yeah, I got a Michael Myers mask." Yeah, now we're like, "Oh fuck, what is that?"
I love that one.
I had one in a storage bin that I pulled out a few years ago. It was all melted to shit and like transformed. I wish I still had it.
All right, so this is what I had in mind. Let's start from the bottom and work our way up, and we're going to have to agree. We're just going to have to agree with this. So, if not, I'm just going to make a executive decision. But let's start with the trash row. Right now, there's H2O and the Resurrection Mask in dead last. Personally, I would swap these two. But let me see what everybody says.
2018 is better than Resurrection, so I'll give it to him. I think that is fair.
Wait, what?
You mean H2O?
No, Resurrection's in trash as well. I'm saying that Christian said that he would swap 18 for Resurrection.
H2O.
Or H2O. Either way. I think that 18 is better than both of them, so I'm okay with that being ahead of both of them. So I'm cool with that row staying the way it is.
Well, anybody else?
If you're saying, are you getting me to pick between H2O and Resurrection?
Yeah, I was saying I think Resurrection's cooler than H2O. But right now Resurrection's in
I would keep Resurrection dead last, personally.
Okay.
Same.
All right.
Shit, I was going by tier. Oh.
Yep.
Well, I disagree. I think H2O is my least favorite, but that's 3 out of 4. So yeah, objectively that is.
It's not 3 out of 4. That's 2-2.
Yeah.
Oh shit! So then you have to make an executive decision, Christian.
And y'all can fucking choke on it.
Show, man.
That's my one thing. Okay, I'm not gonna do that the whole time. I promise. All right. So obviously, 18 is sitting at the really don't see the big deal by itself, so that's not going anywhere. Halloween 5 it's good. People bitch too much by itself. Obviously, the legendary tier is going to be where the shit starts hitting the fan. So the effing awesome. We have Halloween 4, Rob's 1, and then Rob's 2. Do you guys want to hear how I would rank these?
Yes.
And if I was ranking these, it would be Rob's Halloween 2, Halloween 4, then Rob's Halloween. That's what I would do.
Wow, I'm the inverse. Rob's Halloween 2, Halloween 4.
Well, I had Halloween 4 in the middle.
Yeah, true. You're right.
I had Halloween 4 in the middle and Halloween 2 as number 1, and then Rob's is the third one.
I feel like somebody should be like, we should have like a stenographer for this. So that's a vote for. Okay, go ahead, Brandon and Ken.
I would say
y'all do it.
4-2-1 for that. Keep 4 where it is. Put 2 where 1 is, but that's for the dream sequence mask, obviously, and then the original or 2007 to the last one because of that fucking white mask, which I can't stand.
I would say the same thing.
And then that rules then, because Christian had 2 in the middle as well, so Rob's 2 would go there. Rob's 1, yeah, unfortunately, and 4.
I had mine was Rob's Halloween 2 is the number 1, and then Halloween 4, and then Rob's. But regardless, they both agreed, and me and you did, so they win. So Halloween 4 is the top effing awesome, and I'm glad Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 won second place. That's cool. Okay, so this is where the shit is legitimately about to hit the fan. everybody say what the absolute best Halloween mask is, or you guys just say what is the absolute number one best. Let me
Two.
know what you guys say.
Halloween 4.
2.
Man.
All right, for real though, Ken, you got it. It's got to be in the legendary.
I'll go 2. I'll go 2.
Wow.
I'll go 2. I love 2.
Shatner.
I was gonna say 6. So the answer,
I fucking knew it.
the winner is gonna be 2 for the absolute most legendary mask. How about second place? How is everybody feeling for second place?
6.
Kills.
First one.
Okay, I
Halloween.
heard 1. Ken said 1. What else, guys?
Kills.
6.
6 is going to second place. Okay, so third place. I'll be honest with you. What we have right here, that's me. I would keep it just the list we have. That's just me though.
I would give it to the Halloween 3 masks.
What's up there right now? Hold on. I can't
Halloween 2, then Halloween 6, then the original Halloween, then the
Oh,
Silver Shamrock Kids, then Halloween Kills.
That's fucking blasphemy.
No, here's the thing, Nick. You want to talk about blasphemy? Right now, we have 2 masks outperforming the original, and people are literally having seizures and epileptic attacks.
No, that is what I'm saying is the blasphemy, is that the original mask is third right now.
Listen, if part 4 was legendary, it would also be before the Shatner original. Okay, just note that.
Oh my goodness.
I love it.
Based off of the 3 that are left, I would go I would just move Kills and Halloween 3.
Yes.
I mean, if that's the ranking we have to do, I would put Kills at 2 if it were me, but out of what's left, yeah, just swap 3 and Kills.
Yeah.
Ken, do you agree with that, Ken?
I'll accept that. Yeah.
No. Do you agree with it? Because I want to know.
Yes,
crunch time.
Because I said Halloween 3 at first, but I also forgot that I put the first one at second. So I would have to leave the first one where it is. Halloween. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with where it's at right now.
Oh, so you agree with this?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay, so we have a dilemma here.
Okay.
Me and Ken agree. But
but Christian, you made
Nick
one
and
executive decision.
Otto agree.
Now let me make my executive decision. Kill
Fair
switches.
enough. Fair
There we go.
enough. I'm fine with that.
Technically, it's Myers masks.
So the ranking of Myers masks for those listening right now, from best to worst. Number 1, Halloween 2. Number 2, The Curse of Michael Myers mask. Number 3, the original. Number 4 is the Halloween Kills mask. Number 5 is the Silver Shamrock Kids. Number 6 is Halloween 4. Number 7 is Halloween 2009. Number 8 is Halloween 2007. Number 9 is Halloween 5. Number 10 is Halloween 2018. 11 is Halloween Resurrection. And 12 is Halloween H2O. That is the definitive ranking of the Michael Myers masks. And I'm sure nobody watching this is going to agree with any of this.
We're going to be disowned by the entire horror community for this list.
Oh yeah, cancel me, baby. Let's go.
I'm just happy that Halloween 2 is at the top.
Me too. Like, that's fucking awesome, dude.
I love that mask so much.
I love that movie.
Demand a recount. I'm just gonna.
Halloween 2 is fucking awesome, dude. I remember when I my favorite poster in here. A lot of times when I come in this room, like right here, I've got 2 and 3. That skull pumpkin is the real fucking deal, dude. I love that poster so
Christian,
much.
you know who you're talking to? You don't gotta explain that this movie's awesome. Okay, I just feel like it's blasphemy. I just do. I feel like it's blasphemy, and if there's a heaven and a hell, when I die, I'm not going to stand before God and say, yes, I put the Halloween 2 mask above the Shatner mask. I won't say that because.
But they're the same. What's God will say? What's the big deal, dude? They're the same mask.
No, God will say, why are you watching that shit? But regardless, I'm on the record of majority rules. This is a democracy, people, and majority rule. But I do not agree. But I agree with the legendary tier. I will say that. The legendary tier, I think all 4 of us. Does anybody have an issue? I think the only one would maybe be Ken with the 3 masks, but he said they were effing awesome, bordering on legendary.
Yeah, no, I like all these masks. So. Halloween 2 is at the top, so I'm happy with everything else. I would like for 4 to be up there, but
Yes, agreed.
that's my only big issue.
You know what, Christian? We both made an executive decision. Fuck it. Let's give them one. Put 4 right after the Halloween 3 masks and Legendary.
Well, I mean, it is technically behind them, but
Yeah. And we'll just put it up in that tier.
And there it is.
Well, let me make one more change.
you have to take it over Resurrection.
The greatest.
I thought it was perfect. I thought having 4 as the first effing awesome mask was right, but I'll give it to Ken.
I did too, but they keep mentioning it. They keep saying it.
I gave you your dread last night, Christian.
That's right. Oh my God, you're so right.
I did not overrule you. I'll let you have your dread.
Wait, could you have overruled my overrule if you wanted to?
That was a rule that I didn't have to implement, but I was gonna say that you don't have to you can't overrule an overrule.
All right. With that being said, Brandon, do you have any overrules?
No, I'm not going to go there.
Just don't.
Move the Halloween 4 mask after the Halloween 6 mask, but before the Halloween 1 mask.
Oh, no. No.
That's my ultimate ranking, but you can put it back. I'm just fucking around. That would be my ultimate legendary right there.
The ranking was printed and sent off to the government as soon as we finished the first time. So this is all
while you're at
hearsay.
it, you can put the Halloween 5 masks behind 4 if you want to go there.
Why is H2O at the bottom still? You know,
The Resurrection's there with it still.
you know, H2O. Fuck it, they're all legendary. Every single one's legendary. That's the definitive ranking.
All right. I can't keep messing with this, but this was fun, guys.
Who knew we could talk about the Halloween mask for 2 hours? I mean, damn.
Anything's possible with you on the show with Halloween related. So.
Oh yeah. Here we go. I will say, I gotta say, Ken and Brandon, again, thank you guys for coming on, and I apologize if I can get a little long-winded at times. It happens when we talk Halloween. So
thanks for having us.
All good. I appreciate being on, man. I'm a big fan of the show, so it was awesome to be here.
A lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, Ken, tell everybody where they can find you on the interwebs and what you got going on.
You can find me at Mid-Level Media on the interwebs, and basically I just talk about Blu-rays until my face falls off.
Oh, you collect Blu-rays? Is that what you do? I didn't know that.
I've got a couple. I've also got a few DVDs over there in the corner.
okay.
And some 4Ks, some steelbooks. But yeah,
All right.
Yeah, pretty much all I did. Just Blu-ray reviews, collection updates, unboxings.
Your channel's blowing up, man. You get some crazy views on all yours. You've got a serious fan base on your hands.
Yeah, don't ask me how or why, but it seems so.
I think they look at you and they say, "I can relate to this guy."
I think so too. A lot of losers out there.
I know. I'm one of them.
Yeah, you're surrounded by them right now.
Yeah.
And of course, our good friend Brandon. This is your second time being on the show, Brandon. I'm so glad to have you back, man. Tell everybody what you've got going on and where they can find you.
You can find me at Tabata Vision on YouTube, and I just make a bunch of random bullshit videos about horror movies. Bore you senseless. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, Brandon's got a good thing going on. I remember the reason I wanted to interview Brandon because he does stuff that like I just don't typically see. Like Brandon does videos about legitimate, just like thoughts about movies sometimes that he may have, and they seem it could be like the smallest thing, but it gets you thinking. And he's got some good shit going. I'm a big fan of Brandon over there. I like Brandon's channel a lot.
Brandon earned a subscription from me before he came on Uneeda because of the video you shared with me about Halloween 5 being an art film. So that was not a sub out of, oh, he's gonna be on the show, I'll be friendly. No, it was this guy appreciates Halloween 5, I appreciate him. So check him out. Christian, before we sign off, can you do me a favor?
Sure, anything.
You're able to bring up videos, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like off YouTube on here.
Yeah.
So you're asking everybody to say what they've been up to. Well, my channel is The Lost River Drive, and you guys know this. But I'm actually knee deep in the Nightmare Revisited series right now. And I don't think Christian's caught my latest video yet because he would have mentioned the intro.
No, I
know if
haven't. Your Freddy's Revenge review. It's on my
Yes.
watch later, and I was gonna get on the treadmill tonight and watch it, but I can do it now.
Just the intro. If you want to pull
Oh.
up the first 5 seconds of the video. Now, I have to warn you guys. I have to say, I did this for my buddy Justin. He loves this part of the movie. Everybody remembers this part of the movie. It was super cringy for me to do. But I want the Uneeda fans and you gentlemen to see the awful.
I already
cringe.
feel like I know what it is.
It's bad, but I will tell you 90% of the comments on this video were people loving what I did for the intro. So I made the right decision. But yeah, it's pretty cringe inducing. So Christian, I want to see how you feel.
I knew it. Okay, let me pull it up. Okay. Okay. Share audio. Make sure everybody can hear it.
Uneeda, this is for you.
There you go.
Y'all ready?
Exactly how I envisioned it.
It bumped down the quality that way it won't buffer.
Oh my god.
Okay, here we go. Why did it end so fast? I wanted more.
Well, because I didn't want to get a copyright strike for using that song, because I got a notification on iTunes that I wasn't allowed to use the song because it was copyright protected. But
I covered it.
Anyway.
You could have hit me up. I would have sent you my cover.
I didn't think about it. I was kind of
well.
in a pinch, but it was fine. I only used 4 seconds, so it's like I think the rule is like I don't know how many seconds it is, but it was short enough. Also, I'm 6 foot, almost 4, so to crouch like that with my hands on my knees is not easy to do for an extended period of time. So I'm like, I had to get super low. I had to get super low just to get to where my ass could hit the drawer. So I'm doing it. It looked so awkward, but I'm telling you, people really dug it. So
yeah, that was great.
Yeah, it's pretty cringy, but I just wanted to show all of you guys that. But yeah, I'm doing the Nightmare Revisited series right now. I do these weird, man. I don't do them by when they came out or anything like that. I just do this one's on my mind today. Like I started with the remake and then I did Freddy's Revenge. And I think the next one I'm going to do is the original. So it's just whatever one I want to talk about. But yeah, so check Ken out, Mid-Level Media. Check Brandon out at Tabata Vision. Check me out if you haven't already. And you guys already check Christian out because you're watching this on Christian's channel or listening to it on whatever audio platform you use. Christian, what do you want to say to the people?
I'm hoping I pissed somebody off today.
You will.
Yeah,
I'm sure we all did. I think there's going to be people that are like, you guys all love the Kills mask. You're stupid. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to
it. I love it when we get angry Halloween comments. It's the best.
Oh, yeah. You know this, Christian. You've been in this YouTube game long enough. You do a Halloween topic, you get the traffic, and with the traffic, you get the crazies. So
I just laugh. It's funny, you know. But this was fun. This was honestly fun. You know, I would love to do this again with the Jason masks. That'd be really fun. I know.
I was going to say the looks of Freddy as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's only one legendary
Nightmare
as far
2
as I'm
being
concerned.
number 1. Yeah.
Yeah. But we could do that. Yeah, that was fun. Ken, I'd love to have you back, obviously, if you had a good time. And
I'd love to be back, man.
Yeah.
Love to be back.
I surely will. And of course, Brandon, you're always welcome. So
oh yeah.
What about me? Am I
you're not kicked off yet.
Okay.
Just don't invite me back for a casual commentary of Rob Zombie's Halloween.
That's exactly what I want to do.
Or that might actually be entertaining.
I want to make you watch the movie you hate more than anything and just spew your guts.
I get irrationally fired up, and I know that. And I don't even like the way I sound when I'm talking about the movie.
I'm clipping this for the Instagram page. That way people will know that's how you feel and they will demand it. So
yeah. Also, they're still waiting on the Hobgoblins too. Talk with me and Christian.
I haven't seen Hobgoblins 2, and I'm not going to see Hobgoblins 2.
I haven't seen it either, but people keep bringing it up, Christian. Eventually, I think we might have to get around to talking about Hobgoblins.
I'll gladly talk about how much I hate a movie, even though I haven't seen it. Wouldn't be the first time.
Well, yeah, there's ones that like Troll 2 that are so bad they're good, but I don't think Hobgoblins would.
No,
I don't know.
Hobgoblins is just, I don't know. Anyway, we're gonna wrap it up on that note. Thank you guys for listening to this. This has been another episode of the Uneeda Horror Podcast. We love you, and we will see you guys next time. This has been a production of the Uneeda Horror Podcast. You need it, we got it. Thank you for listening.